Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
What's going on, freaks? Let me see the audio. Might not be right. Nope. This is the right one. Right there. Alright. Let's see. Hello. What's going on? Oh yeah, you know, I was watching that show Doc. I like that show Doc on TV, you know. Man, last night it was weird. So I was watching and let's see, it was like this one case where, let's see, this guy and this girl, they'd been dating for 10 months and they're about to get married, but they were pregnant too, so that she gave birth, and then because of the effort exuded during birth, she died of a aneurysm. And then the father was O negative, I guess, something like that, and then the child's blood type was AB positive, so it turns out that the guy couldn't be the father. But you know what I immediately thought? I go, well, what if he's a chimera? Because he was so certain. Like, he was like, there's no way, there's no way. And I go, what if he's a chimera? And you know what's amazing? Is that's exactly what that episode used in that case. I just could not believe it. And the only way we would even know about it is because of Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick. Or that discussion we had that one time. And they even said on the show that the one, you know, that's why the blood type, he ingested a fraternal twin before he was born, so he had two different DNA, two different DNA sequences, or whatever the hell you call it, you know. But I thought that was pretty crazy. Are we done saying hello again? All right, you guys. Yeah, that was interesting. Yay! All right. I just thought it was pretty weird to actually have an episode based on what we've talked about a million times. Is anybody here? Am I live yet? Or because there isn't one. Wait, what? Oh. I wasn't sure if I was live because my screen over here is showing something else. And nobody was commenting on anything that I just said. So, hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Man, it's like talking to a brick wall or something. There was some other thing too. I can't remember. All right. Well, the first thing we're gonna do is the two kids in Cleveland, Ohio. It's making it out now. It made it to the New York Post. So let's just see what they say. And then there's an update. Alright. So here we go. The bodies of 2 young girls. Let's see what this guy. This is the guy that found them.
With breaking news.
Bodies were discovered in 100 by a neighbor who tells our News 5 investigator Scott Knoll he found a head in a suitcase.
I had been walking past that.
Oh, he didn't. He just saw the head of a full body in a suitcase. Notice how they always have to do it in the way where it's whoa, man, and it's really, like dismembered would be a lot more gruesome. I mean, it's not gruesome the way it is. I'm just saying it's more sensationalistic to say you found a head.
For at least a week, that pile of dirt for at least a week.
Yeah, so for at least a week they're walking by. Now I went out to one of the satellite sites to try to see if I could find satellite imagery from like maybe 3 weeks ago, but it's only at a level of 3 meters. So that means every pixel is 3 meters, basically. And, it's like you're not even going to be able to see if there was anything. But hey, guys, during the show, if you guys could help support the channel, that would be great. We're just got to keep on trucking, trying to reach the goals and, make it through every single night. All right? So if you have the ability to, that would be awesome.
Before I even just, went across my mind that I would check it.
Was it buried or just?
Yeah, it was buried pretty much. You could just see like the very top of it sticking out the dirt.
You said it was a suitcase?
Yeah, some kind of suitcase.
And it was a human head.
That's what I said yesterday. Yeah.
Human head. After that, I didn't want to see anymore.
When officers arrived, they say they found a second body nearby. Both deaths are being investigated as suspected homicides. Look for updates on this still developing story on our News 5 app and Good Morning Cleveland.
Yeah, so it says the bodies of 2 young girls were discovered stuffed in a pair of suitcases in an Ohio park. Come on, try to say that quick. In an Ohio. Say that, man. Do it. In an Ohio. Say it quick. 3 times. In an Ohio. Oh, forget it, man. In an Ohio. Man, that's almost impossible. Try to do it. In an Ohio. Now, they're between 8 and 14. And I said yesterday on the show that it's obviously likely to be somebody related. All right. Do it. Try to say in an Ohio. Say it as fast as you can 3 times. There's no way. It's impossible. Just like saying hyoid bone 3 times fast. You can forget it. I can, Gray. I really did. I studied linguistics, you bastard. I was really good. I won a couple of my debates in high school, you bastard. Yeah, whatever, man. What does that have to do with anything? Hello? Give it a shot, you guys. Try to say, in an Ohio. Go ahead. Let's see. You don't want me to start sounding like Arnold Horshack, do you? Go ahead, go ahead. Oh, God, Jesus. You gotta be kidding me. You must be like 30 seconds behind. Maybe that's the problem. Cleveland authorities said they are still working to ID the girls who were only described as juvenile black females and believed to be the victims of homicide. At this time, we don't know how long the juveniles had been in this location. It was some time, Cleveland Police Chief Dorothy Todd said Tuesday, describing one of the girls as having been between 8.5 and 13. I don't know how you can, why not just say 8? Why 8.5? And the other ranging from 10.5 to 14. So just between 8 and 14. Well, it's not a gray impression. It's, I'm imitating people like you. You get it? Well, that's the thing. They added that there's no indication of an ongoing threat to public safety. The Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner Office will determine their cause of death. Thanks, Alley Cake. Local Philip Donaldson said he made the grim discovery at around 6 p.m. when his pooch started lingering around a mound of dirt near Saranac Playground. So that's what this is. And there seemed to be a mound right on the grass line, not into the bushes here, but then there was more flags that seemed to be more into the bushes over there. So I would think whoever dropped them off there either came in through here, through the back, or just drove straight down this road and pulled into right here, either facing that direction or coming in this way facing the other direction, or they came in, turned around, backed in, then removed them, and then drove out. But they took the time to dig little holes. Apparently they were like shallow graves, so that, you know, that would take 10, 15, 20 minutes. So maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning, if you kind of picture how dark it might be sort of against this tree line, nobody's going to see you over there. You know, you turn off the lights of your car, you have a shovel over here, and you're digging. But hey guys, if you guys could help support the channel, that would be great. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be another one of those nights where I just have to repeat it over and over. It's been like that the last 4. Welcome. This is what I heard. Right. Yeah, it's like imitating the trolls, how they talk, you know. So I went back and looked, and it was a suitcase that was half buried. And I pulled it up and looked in it, and it was a head. So that means that's the thing that they saw when they opened it, but it's a full body. In the press conference, she said there was no dismemberment. Alright, so then here is the key information from today. Oh wow, did they just update this? Wait, is that different? Wow, that's crazy. Alright, let's see. So they may have already... this wasn't... They changed the headline here. Cleveland woman arrested. I was about to say, because they were half siblings, and I said in my community post today that to answer one of the questions that I think it's going to be the mother. So let's see. Cleveland woman arrested for murder as investigation into the deaths of 2 girls found in suitcase continues. I wonder if they put the DNA into... I don't know if you could do it that quick. A 28-year-old woman has been arrested for murder and child endangering... Maybe this is a different case. I don't know. Child endangering. 19 News has learned. Cleveland police have not released the name of the person of interest they detained in connection with the bodies of 2 young girls found in suitcases near... that's so weird. It was updated 4 hours ago, right? So I put it in this folder at 9:57 a.m., so they've updated it. That's crazy. Cleveland police have not released the name of the person of interest they detained in connection with the bodies of 2 young girls found in a suitcase near Ginn Academy in Cleveland. However, records show Aaliyah Henderson was booked into the Cuyahoga County Jail Wednesday evening. Here, I'm going to go look this up. Hold on. If you guys care. But hey, how about we get some support for the channel going tonight? We are currently at 1/60th of a nightly goal. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel in some way, that would be great. The channel relies on you guys, as I seem to have to say every single night. Alright, so her name is Leah Henderson. Cleveland. And she's 28. There, that's probably her right there. That's the first one that popped up. And then we'll put the address in here to see what this means. Alright guys, if you have the ability to help support the channel tonight, that would be fantastic. Look where she lives. Holy shit. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, wow. I mean, we were even talking about, man, maybe they live close because it seems like they sort of knew. Wow. That is, that's incredible. Man, that's insane. Right there. Like literally part of the park. Hello? Anybody there? Man, you guys must be like 45 seconds behind or something. It's just so frustrating. Yeah, anyways, so the suitcases were found right there, and this is where the person lives. At 701 East 162nd. Right there. And then let's see what else. Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. We need somebody to do a challenge in here somewhere. We're just, you know. She doesn't appear to have a criminal history that's in here. Here, I'm gonna look her up in this other thing. Yeah, that's just crazy. Man. Good job on the police. There might have been people that live in the neighborhood. They canvassed the area and they said, yeah, this person has two. Hey, Joy. Man, that's wild. I'm looking her up. Hold on, I'm just trying to find her in this one program that I use online. Okay. She looks like she's got really long sort of, I mean, I think that's her. She has a drop box. Here, I'll show you the image that I found of her. I'm just looking at this really quick though. So she had a Poshmark, Wix, Dropbox, Pandora, Quora, Google Maps. All right, let's see. I think I've got this one right here. That's what it says. You know, she looks like on two of the different accounts right there. All right. Now, why is that, Anna? I don't even know who you are. Who are you? Never heard of you in my life. Are you just in here to troll, be rude, be a biatch, or just, what is it? Nobody knows you. Nobody's heard of you before. Okay, and so let's see. I'm just going to put some more email. She has 2 or 3 email addresses, so I got to put those in there. Let me try another one. I have this online place that you put them in, and see what happens. She had 2 email accounts. Oh, weird. Yeah, so there's... That looks like the same person. So, it looks like... Jeez. Hold on. We got 2 more pictures to add in here for you guys. And what, did she have kids or something that were from 2 different parents or 2 dads, and then just didn't want to take care of them? So yeah, so this other one has LinkedIn, Etsy, Google Play. Oh yeah, jeez, she's got all kinds of pictures, and you'll see them here in a second. Cash App, Beat Stars, whatever the hell that is. Anybody heard of that? Yeah, Cash App, 2 Cash App accounts. So that other email was used way more. And then let's see what it has. There's a Google Maps area. Yeah, it just shows where she went a couple different times. Yeah. I don't know, but hey guys, any chance you guys could help support the channel tonight? Is there a reason why tonight's so much worse than other nights, just like yesterday was? It's just very, very strange. I don't know what the difference is. You know, I can't tell. There's nothing I do differently. Yeah, so it doesn't show anything like a Facebook page. Don't see it on there. So I'll try one more. There's no phone numbers listed. And there's addresses. Let's see where another one she lived at was. And maybe we can... Yeah, so another address is over here. Hey, see you later, Anna. You're not interesting. You never have been. The show isn't about you. So she lived here in 2024, and those kids would have already been... Yeah, so I was just... You know, you wonder if those are like kids' clothing up there. This is 2022. And she lived there from 2019 to 2024. And then there's another address. And that's probably a place she worked or something. I don't know. Man, that's just wild. Right next door to the park. Well, I think this is happening later in the evening. So maybe they're just trying to verify stuff. So let's see. A 28-year-old woman has been arrested for murder and child endangering. Yeah, I would say killing them, putting them in a suitcase and burying them is, you know, endangering them. But you know what it could be is that they died by like meth or something, you know, and that they were near it and they died, so she buried them. Cleveland police have not released the name of the person of interest they detained in connection with the bodies of 2 young girls found in suitcases. However, records show Leah Henderson was booked into the Cuyahoga County jail Wednesday evening. Neighbors told, and she lives right there. Neighbors told 19 News Henderson lived, oh, there you go, at the East 167th Street home where police took someone into custody. You know what's weird is like these people show up there and they can't let me just have a show. They're part of the reason why it's difficult in here. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, Joyful, I always communicate with my viewers. And that's, you're stupid because your comment, you're miserable and ignorant to your viewers. What do you mean ignorant? I actually know what I'm doing. You're a fool. You don't even know what the word means. You're so stupid. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you see how we get these trolls in here, guys? And this is why it's a struggle. You guys read them, then you go, oh boy, I don't want to support Gray's channel tonight. Look what that person said. Boy, I don't want to be one of those. You know, and it's just really, really frustrating. I mean, there's no reason we should be starting off so poorly. We are currently at $13, and we are 1/126th of a goal. You know, there's just no reason for it. Neighbors told 19 News Henderson lived at the East 162nd Street home where police took someone into custody. Cleveland Police Sergeant Fetty Diaz said that during a search warrant. Hey, you guys, pretend that was a challenge right there, you guys. Pretend it was a challenge. Thank you, Chris O'Connell. But maybe you guys can pretend that was a challenge and help support the channel. We're really struggling tonight. On Wednesday morning, the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner confirmed through DNA that the two girls are half siblings. So that means that this lady, likely this person right here, now this is just the name that's being reported, but they live right there. That looks like the same person. And then, like that person just doesn't have the hair. And then this one right here. So she probably had two different children from two different guys, and because of some behavior of hers, that's what happened. Thank you, Chris O'Connell. Ignorant. I'm ignorant to my viewers. Does that make sense to anybody? Logical? I'm ignorant to my viewers. What? What does that mean? What does that mean? That doesn't even make sense. That's not how you use the word. I don't know. It's kind of, I mean, sort of pretty. I mean, I wouldn't say that she's very pretty. According to police sources, a man was walking his dog in the area for the first time in a while due to the snow, and the dog hit on a scent. When officers and homicide detectives got to the scene, Todd said they found the second body nearby. According to the chief, both suitcases were partially buried in shallow graves. She said the victims had been there. Right. Hey, it looks like Wild Bill Wassman's doing a challenge. All right. He's saying that if we get 5 gifted memberships, he'll donate 5 all by himself. There you go. Thank you. Well, thanks, Chris O'Connell, for saying that.
Starts now.
For
For a couple days.
office, a man walking his dog in a field near East.
The officers responded out.
In the Cuyahoga County, one is between 8 and
See, that's the
13
hole
years
right
old,
there.
and the other between
Right
10
there.
and 14.
Oh, so that's a perfect shot right there. Look at that. Because this one shows you the other hole right there. So they were both right along the tree line there. This one's more into the woods. Hey, wow, thanks Sassy Squatch and Art and Design Studios. Man, this one's interesting. I want to see what the probable cause says in it. Detectives are checking with state and federal partners as well. This crime scene is located near Ginn Academy. Well, it's just amazing. I mean, look at if you just got here. This is the address of the person they arrested, which is literally, God, I mean, what? I'm going to guess 227 yards. Let's see. No, not even that. 140. Only 140 yards away. I mean, that's crazy. Right there. So, hell, they could have just taken the suitcases around over here and then just wheeled them over to the corner. What an idiot, though. I mean, really? Right in your neighborhood? Right next to your house? Probably people saw you playing with the kids, maybe. And hey, look at that. Chris O'Connell said she will double Bill's challenge if 5 members are given, and he gives 5. I'll give 10. Oh, wow. Jeez. Well, there you go. Looks like that all happened. Oh, thanks so much there. Chris O'Connell, thanks for battling the trolls, the absolute nut jobs who are just trying to do a show. They're actually what make it hard on a nightly basis. Because they come in, they create, they make comments that they know are going to create issues, and then there's a problem. Then one of them chimes in, "This is why I don't like you, Gray," even though they're the ones that did it. What it is, it's called passive aggressive. That's what it's called. Anyways, hey, thanks so much there, Chris O'Connell and Wild Bill Wassman and Sassy Squatch. Very cool. All right, so I did find these other ones on Daily Mail. It's currently, I mean, I said in the comment section, I think this is going to be the mother of the, it's going to be the mother. All right. And then look at these other ones. Inside, the baffling mystery of 2 little kids found dead in suitcases. I mean, my God, is this like a thing? By a family who bought an abandoned storage unit. Who were they and how long were they there? Yeah, so that was in New Zealand. And then there's this other one right here. Probably not as important to read the whole thing, but right here it says, woman jailed over suitcase murders. Yak Young Lee, 43, found guilty of murder. The bodies of 2 children were found in suitcases. She was sentenced to life imprisonment. And that's the same person. A New Zealand mother who killed her 2 children and put their bodies in suitcases that were left inside a storage unit for 4 years has been sentenced to life in prison. Jeez. Now, the sentence comes more than 7 years after the children died and nearly 3 years after their bodies were discovered. You know what I think? I think in this case it's going to be this person was neglectful to these 2 kids. They were just a burden on her. They're from 2 different parents. Probably the 2 husbands didn't pay any child support either. And she was just like, they're screwing up my life, you know, and just treated them horrendously. And then maybe at some point she didn't want them to be, report what she was doing, so then killed both of them. I bet you it's something more like that. Now, it could be that they were exposed to some sort of drug or something and both died, but I think it's going to be something like what I just said. Yeah, well, they must know. I mean, people in the neighborhood must have known that they're... I mean, maybe they saw kids over here. This can't be... I mean, what is this? A condo? Or... No, so that was just built, too. Jeez. This is 2022. Let's see, that's October. So even that house is in there now. So you look right when this was being built. So that one's... There's no... The street view, however, is from 2014, unfortunately. And I'm not even sure... Is that it right there? Yeah, I guess that one was already there. Yeah, I mean, it could be, but they arrested her. And maybe she's not the mom, I guess. I mean, maybe she's somebody that was babysitting and killed him, and then finally the lady, maybe the mom was on vacation, came back, and she says, hey, where are my kids? And then reported to the police, and the police, oh my God, we have 2 bodies found over here. You know, something of that nature, some crazy story. But either way, they probably got the right person. I mean, they have a person of interest that they arrested. And what are the odds that a random person arrested lived right here when there's 2 bodies right here, and it's also a female who you would suspect as being behind it because they're 2 children of 2 different parents. So that would make it seem more likely that it's a mother that had 2 different kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we all said that, Bengal Cat Chili. You always act like you say the same kind of things all the time. Yes, we said, yeah, maybe the person lives in the area because they know it over here. You see that? Jesus, come on, man. Why can't they just give them up for adoption? Good old-fashioned abandon. Yeah, both were killed. There's 2 kids there. I agree. The mom was, yeah. And it seems like they would have had to know the area. That's why the school part seemed interesting. Like, wow, they intentionally buried them over here, and so you must be familiar with it, right? Okay. It could be someone else that lived. Well, they must have hatred and pure evil with their heart because... No, you didn't say it first. Bengal Cat, Julie. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Let's see. I'm just reading the comments. How a parent could hate their child. I mean, there's people out there that it's just like Casey Anthony is the same type of person. She just got off. Yeah. Well, we were just talking about it. I don't see everybody's comment. Bengal Cat. Or Raven. Whatever, however the hell you want to be. It's just kind of, you know, after you look at it for a while, you know, I thought maybe the person drove in right here, drove over here, because, you know, it's hard to move 2 suitcases. But now that you see him right here, it's like, wow, you could just probably wheel it over to there and cut across. There's probably not a lot of surveillance right over here. I wonder if there's a camera. Oh, wow, look at that, you guys. They literally drove over here. This is 2022. Yeah, so there's no camera. They probably even knew that. And then maybe just walked through this and then went as far away from there. It's just so stupid, though, you know? Think about that. What does that sound? Oh, my battery's low. Okay. Well, that's pretty crazy news, for sure. Oh, is it over here? Oh, there it is. Yep, only had 5% left on that. Yeah, I mean, it's just like she panicked or something one night. Why wouldn't you just... Maybe she doesn't even have a car. I mean, that would explain it. And she just wheeled him over there in a suitcase. But you would think because they were there, that a car came in and parked right there and put him there. But now that you know that this is the house, you know, that's probably not likely how it went. Yeah, nobody else is covering it. It's still, you know, this is why it's sort of a struggle sometimes, because you got to keep covering Nancy Guthrie over and over and over and over again, or nobody watches. Hey, hit the like button, everybody. We've only got 91 likes, and that's another problem with my channel. I could put out the greatest video in the world, and I don't know if I don't word it right or whatever, but people don't hit the like button. I have to put a comment to say, hey, can you guys hit the like button? Oh, yeah. Yeah, just hit the like button when you come into the show, you guys. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to do. Yeah, we went over the whole Hart family case last night, Harley. But we're currently in another one of those lulls. Thanks, Cheryl Bullock up there. We'll see. Super Chats, we're only at $3.99, but we have like 30 membership gifting. So we're maybe about almost 50%. I'm sure a family member would take in a relative's unwanted child. What do you mean, but? Like you say, agreed, there's abuse in the foster system, but I'm sure a family, what does that mean? I don't really get the but part. You know, they're totally unrelated things. You know, if a family wants to take a kid in, then they're not in the foster program. What people talk about is the foster care program is a nightmare for. It's not. I just think it's something. I don't know. Here's what I believe. You know, like Texas pays out huge amounts of money even after you adopted a kid for up until they're 18 years old, like $1,000 or $1,500 a child, you know, a month. But that is insane. I think a child should not be able to be adopted, nor in the foster care program. I mean, the foster care is different. Like, if the state pays, it gives them a chance to live at a sort of a home, a normal life, and go to school. But if you're adopting a child and you can't afford it, you shouldn't adopt that kid. Like, there shouldn't be a reason. If you're adopting a kid, the state shouldn't give you a nickel. That means you have decided that you are going to take care of this kid as if they're your own. You've adopted them. If you can't afford the oh, they're getting food. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't be able to adopt it, the child. I mean, what's the whole, because then it opens the door for this, you know, like you adopt a kid and then you're in the welfare program and then every month you're sending in, so then you're just kind of like, okay, yeah, great, yeah, maybe if we get another one we can do the same. You can't have it like that. I know it sucks, but I think it should just be foster, you know, it's just foster children. The moment you decide to adopt a kid, there's no benefit to you. You don't get to, you know, you don't get money from the state. Right. That's why the Hart family case, if you never saw it, we went over the whole damn thing again last night. It's one of the most disgusting examples of just a shit system and just hypocritical, nut job, hippie, wacko, I don't even know what you want to call these people. They were like basically fake liberals, okay? A lesbian couple, they wanted to be really cool, liberal. Look at us, ooh, we're so cool. Look at us, man, we're taking care of the... And they didn't give a shit about those kids. They only did it for the money, and when the jig was up, they killed them all. Okay? So that case right there should go down. They should make a movie on the Hart case. I don't know why that hasn't been made into a movie. You know why it hasn't been made? Because it makes their team look bad. The people who make the movies. That's why they haven't made a movie on that. That should be a movie. Because that should be a warning to all the people out there that this is what could happen and might be happening. All right, you guys, we need a couple more challenges going on tonight, then maybe we'll have a shot. Now, those people from last night, what people? Yeah, exactly. There should be no money. If you're adopting a child, that means you're choosing to have them as your own. And if you can't afford it, that shouldn't even have been an option for you to adopt the kid. If it means that you're on the dole from the state right away, then there's already a conflict. Forget it. That's what I just said, Ivan. I just said that. Well, that was the Hart family, not those people. But, yeah, that was the case. I mean, it was... Weren't you here when I covered it? I mean, well, it was a long time ago. It was 2018 when we did that. It was absolutely crazy. Let me just look at this really quick. Yeah, right there, look. So I did this whole thing. The Hart family. I mean, this is the whole trip, and then they go down here, and then I think, is this the spot? No, that wasn't it. I think it's way down south. Yeah, way down here. They took the family, and I literally found like every little element of the crime scene that was in the photographs, but they were right here and then drove the vehicle straight off the cliff, and it landed right there in the water and killed everybody. Absolute nut job. Now look at somebody. Oh, there's one right there. Probably because of the... Yeah, wow. That's almost exact. So it was right over there, and they just went... Yeah, as a matter of fact, see, that looks like somebody put... it looks like maybe a memorial right there. This is 2019, so that would make sense. And flew right down there, and in the water down there is where the car was. And then they dragged it up the cliff. Let's see what that is. Oh, wow. Whoa, that's a crazy one there, man. That really lets you... Is that it right there? It's hard to figure that out. Maybe it was just right there. I don't know. That looks like a different spot. No, that sort of does seem right there. So it went flying off that cliff into the water. And no, that was right here. So let me see that again. It almost looks like it ate away the whole... It's crazy. Just a second. Wow. That's right here. Right? I mean, there's a curve, and then there's this. And so, let's see. Huh. That's wild. Because this here looks exactly like Let me try that one more time. That like, is there another street road on that? That's weird. Nothing. I think it might be over. There it is. It's way over here. What a stupid little pinpoint that is. Right. So this part right here is where the car went off into the water. Right over there. It's weird. That part there looked kind of similar, but it wasn't. Alright, you guys, how do we get another challenge going so we're not frozen here? We got to keep reaching goals. No, I can't. Alright, well, that was that. And so we've got the news in that apparently they have arrested somebody. And their name is Aaliyah Henderson, perhaps. You know, that's just somebody that's been arrested right in the same neighborhood. Man, you guys, this is crazy in here. How it just gets, you know, people who help the sports channel, and they just did for a long time, and it makes it hard to keep going. It just feels like we're, I don't know, man. It's so different than it used to be. Yeah, so Aaliyah lives right in this house, and this is where 2 bodies were found. Now, wouldn't it be interesting if she doesn't live there anymore, and that was the address, that the last known address, but maybe she moved, and then people sort of remembered, oh yeah, there was this lady, and then it turns out that she used to live there, and then she brought him over here because she was familiar with it. Yeah, and this apparently this is her. Yeah. Well, there you have it. That's it on that. Right, now we're switching over to the updates on Nancy Guthrie. And then we're going to move on to another missing person case. Well, we don't know the story yet, Ivan. You know, how she got arrested or where she lived or anything like that. You know, that is an address she had at one point, and it is her, the 28-year-old. But maybe she doesn't live there currently, but went back there because she was familiar with it. But it seems more likely that she's living here, and that's what led to it. And it is that she just, you know, people saw her with kids, and then they haven't seen the kids, and then they reported it, and then it led back to her. And all they have to do is do a quick DNA test to see if she's the mother of the 2 kids. Alright guys, how do we get going here? We got to make the goals tonight. We're only at about 49%. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, that would be fantastic. Thank you. Maybe give Wild Bill Wassman a break and have you other people. We can, you know, it's like buying a couple Snickers bars. You know, it's no big deal. All right, let's see. I'm going to move on to, Nancy Guthrie. We have some. That's not the one I was looking for. Different day. This one. This is what Brian Enton put out. Well, 28's, we can call that a kid. DNA found on a glove 2.5 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home was traced back to a restaurant employee who works nearby, and is not related to her abduction. Man, so that means they must have done like genetic genealogy and determined already, went back and found out who the person was. The DNA on that glove. DNA results from glove found near Nancy Guthrie's home are revealed. Law enforcement asks anyone with information to contact 1-800-CALL-FBI or tips. FBI.gov. Gloves discovered near Nancy Guthrie's home, which were seen as a possible lead in the investigation into the 84-year-old woman's suspected kidnapping, have resulted in a dead end. The owner of the glove, we found working at a restaurant across the street. So it must have been, where's there a restaurant? Let's go to. There must be a restaurant right around in here. Yeah. Because remember, it was 2.5 miles from her house. And so maybe there's a restaurant right along here, and it was found in a field. The owner of the glove we found working at a restaurant across the street has nothing to do with the case, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos told Tucson News. The Sheriff's Department clarified in a March 4th statement to USA Today that Sheriff Nanos stated in a recent interview that the black gloves found approximately 2 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home were traced back via DNA analysis to a person who works at a restaurant in the area. The person is not considered part of the investigation. The statement continued, and it says lab analysis remains underway on other DNA evidence. I think they're trying to separate it. I think I said on here that, the glove could be important, but it might just be a huge red herring. Because everybody's like, ooh, the glove, and it, it doesn't turn out to be anything. It's 2.5 miles, pretty far away, actually, when you're looking at a situation like that. Yeah, they found so many different pairs of gloves. Those gloves, they seem to match the type. A spokesperson for the FBI Public Affairs Office said in February 15th statement to USA Today that investigators collected approximately 16 gloves in various areas near the house. Most of them were searchers, gloves that they discovered in various areas when they searched the vicinity. The one with the DNA profile recovered is different and appears to match the gloves of the subject in the surveillance video, but that turns out it was just a worker, Okay, you know what, you guys? I'm getting so tired of like everything that law enforcement does is conspiratorial, and oh man, these gloves really are from the killer. You know, he's just lying, blah blah blah. No, he's telling you the truth. There's no way in hell he's coming out to tell you that the DNA ended up tracing back to an employee at a restaurant. If that's not the case, there's no way in hell he'd say that. Okay, no chance. It's not a conspiracy, guys. Law enforcement, Nanos isn't hiding something. It literally is it just doesn't, it didn't make sense. They looked at it, the DNA is a person living there. Now you might go, well, hell, maybe that person had something to do with it, but they just convinced law enforcement they didn't. Who the hell knows? But that is what they found. Okay? God, I mean, what is the deal here, man? I guess it's crazy. Let's see, the one with the DNA profile recovered is different. Yeah, so that one, it looked more similar. In February 17th, update the ship. I think it's stupid that somebody... I mean, has anybody thought about that? Like, I remember thinking, boy, how stupid it would be to just chuck the gloves out that you were wearing in the abduction because, oh, they're uncomfortable or something. I mean, it just seems ludicrous, you know? So now that shows you that that's not what they did. You know? Yeah, sigh. If you want to do conspiracy shit, go somewhere else, you guys. I'm not doing that, okay? Nanos isn't making this story up. So if you want to go believe and go watch the other YouTubers that'll turn it into something big so they can make it into some other twisted story, go check them out. I'm not going to do it. All right? There's no reason to do it. There's no chance he's going to make something like that up. He got the information from the FBI, the labs, and it didn't match. That's not what you're saying. Up above, it's about how the sheriff is, we can't trust anything he says. You know, he's, you know, wow, it's weird that, you know, those gloves are probably really match and blah, 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 blah. They don't match. He just said it matched a person that had a story that made sense to them. Man, I don't know why you guys do this. You guys know how it is. Yeah, it would be. And I remember thinking it's stupid. But, you know, you thought, well, hell, maybe it is something. You know, maybe this person isn't a genius. They're sitting there trying to put the plants on. But that just seems extra stupid. You know, almost like in the Idaho case where there's gloves, you know, by a garbage can that really had nothing to do with anything. Nah, he doesn't, though. He hasn't. It's you know what it is? It's the media has made Nanos a hell of a lot worse than he was. He isn't great. I've admitted that he, you know, sometimes he'll say something and turn it and say something else, but it's not something of that magnitude. Okay? Ah, jeez. A shit human? What are you talking about, Cuckoo Cabanas? Man, you're back to your same old bullshit from years ago. I'm going to go put you on timeout. All right. Have a good one. Let's see. We need to know if they charged with littering, not part of the case. I was actually wondering, now that he... Wow, why is he throwing that there? Are they going to get him on littering? Yeah. Yeah, he's changed his... he'll say... What he does is he says something, and then he denies that he said it. So it's like he told us the truth, and he denies that he said it. I haven't seen him many times where he's changed the story. You know, maybe one or two times on different things where he seemed to say something different at a different time. It just doesn't make sense. You take the effort to wear the gloves, put a balaclava on, and then you're driving. You just chuck them out in the neighborhood near where you're at. that just seems idiotic. I mean, but then you might go, well, he is idiotic. No, the media's made him look way worse than he was. Every single day, you get Ashley Banfield making your little faces and trying to make him, oh, look at this. And it's even stuff that's like, well, that, wasn't really like that. But, everybody is just attacking him because that's something to talk about. He isn't great. I've said that. He is way in over his head, but he's nowhere near as bad as everybody's painted him. And when I say bad, I mean people almost act like he's nefarious, like he's doing something. Yeah, I don't know what the hell the deal is, Wild Bill. I mean, it started off, you guys, it was pretty cool. Now we're just dead. Dead as a doornail. And you know why? Because I don't agree. I've got to sit here and cow down to all the freaks and pretend that I think Nanos is the worst human being on the planet. Oh my God, as if that has something to do with helping to figure out the case. Oh, because he sucks. And we can't believe anything he said, so everything's on the table then. And we don't get anywhere. We just keep talking about Nanos over and over and over again. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Let's see. DNA results in for a glove found near Nancy Guthrie's home. No, I mean, why can't he say something? He's been saying stuff that's true lately, right? I mean, he said that the family was cleared. They still got the car, but then you see Savannah and Annie putting their arms around Tommaso, like they know that they feel like he didn't do anything. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to. I don't know. I'd rather have him say something than nothing. News Nation has learned that DNA found on one of the gloves near Nancy Guthrie's home was traced back to a restaurant employee who works nearby and is unrelated to the abduction. When you say has learned, you mean Pima County told you that, right? Chris Nanos. And now he doesn't say in the next sentence, but Chris Nanos is unreliable, so we're not taking what he said as truth. Authorities in Arizona had been awaiting DNA results from the sample found 2.5 miles from Guthrie's home. She is the missing 84-year-old mother of today. Jesus, who doesn't know that? Investigators were previously unable to get a hit on the glove in CODIS, the database for the DNA from the criminal offender. It is currently unknown how investigators traced the DNA to the restaurant employee. Probably, I would say, genetic genealogy. They probably had that way back, a couple weeks ago, and already worked it through, and that's where it landed. And FBI officials previously confirmed to News Nation that the sample would undergo additional genealogical testing. Thanks, Jean Ann, 75, and Chris O'Connell. Man, you guys, we need to get some challenges going in here. Big time struggle. Big time struggle. We had such a good pace going, and then it just went. An FBI spokesperson told News Nation last month that one of the recovered gloves with a DNA profile appears to match the glove of the suspect. Remember how they worded it, though? That the DNA on the glove matches the suspect. Surveillance footage from Guthrie's home on the night she was taken shows a suspect who appears to have a flashlight in their mouth and a gun in a front holster. They're seen placing a glove hand over the camera lens, then using a nearby shrub to further conceal the device. You mean they attempted to use a shrub, not they didn't succeed. Thanks, Alley Cake. DNA from Guthrie's house contains genetic material from more than one person, Nanos told NBC News last month. Because of the intermingling, investigators expected to have a more difficult time analyzing the DNA. No, you have to live stream staring at a house where a crime took place. Because of the intermingling, investigators expected to have a more difficult time analyzing the DNA. Our lab tells us that there's challenges with it, said Nanos, referring to the private facility in Florida. Yeah, I think it's almost, I don't even know how the hell you would separate. If you have two unknown DNA profiles that are mixed, that would just be brutal. I don't know how you would be able to separate it, because you wouldn't know which segment went to which. If you have a known profile that's in there, you can subtract it out, basically, and then get the unknown from that. But if you don't have the first one, it's sort of like the key, you know. Thank you, Michelle H. Yeah, I think everybody would rather hear from the FBI. But if we can hear from anybody, I want to hear from them. Right? Don't you want to hear from Nanos? If you can hear from anybody, you'd want to hear from the FBI first. And then if Nanos has something to say that's new, then I want to hear that too. Would you just all go, don't talk, Nanos, even if you know somebody, we don't want to hear from you? Bullshit. You want to hear what he has to say. You might not, you might take it with like, it's like Daily Mail type, it's like 80% accurate. It's better than nothing. I can guarantee you that. And I tell you what, if they didn't think that way, why did anybody report on this today? Every single news outlet reported on the DNA matching some employee somewhere. Why didn't they all just go, forget it, man, you're not the FBI, you're Nanos, so we're not going to believe you. None of them even challenged the findings, because that's something that nobody in their right mind, well, he's not in their right mind, Gray. Nobody in their right mind would ever make that shit up. That's too complex. He might say, the DNA just didn't match, we couldn't find the match, blah, blah, that'd be a lie. But in this case, he said, the DNA led to an employee at a restaurant across the street from where the glove was found. That makes a hell of a lot of sense, right? That's not true, Paula. You're just absolutely biased, just like you were in that other case. Hey, I saw a golf course yesterday that was covered in kangaroos and thought of you. They must make playing... Huh? I don't get it. No, I'd rather him not say anything. No, you wouldn't, Karen. I guarantee it. If he knew, because he knows the answer to this. We wouldn't have known this today. So let me ask you guys something. Would you rather not have known about this glove today if it meant that, let's say the FBI isn't going to say it, and would you rather just not know about it because he's the one that told us about it? That's just childish and ludicrous, okay? And it's true what I just said right there. Why would you be like that? Well, if he's going to tell us... look at Karen's comment. No, I'd rather him not say anything. That's just insane, okay? Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with anything, Bengal Cat. Who's talking about that? Nobody. Yeah. Yeah, this is a true story that he told today. Would any of you rather not have known about it merely because he said it? I don't believe that's the truth in here. That anybody in here would go, yeah, no, I'd rather not know If he's the one that's telling us. But if somebody else tells us, then that's so childish, you know. I never thought the glove was relevant to the case. Right. Yeah, I thought the odds were really low. I think I said that on a show one time. That the odds of that glove being related are really low. When they said it was the same type of glove, it seemed like, well, you know, maybe there's a chance, but well, I don't know if it's boring. It's just more information. Now you can eliminate the glove as being something to solve anything. He's just giving updates. They need to do press conferences again now. And he might be the one that talks with the FBI doing their part too, you know. But let me ask you this. Wouldn't you rather have him give updates, you know, twice a week than nothing at all? Because I would. I'd rather have something, you know, where people can ask questions or, you know, do... I don't know. I just don't understand, like, the just absolute, like, abject hate for somebody. It almost seems like... See, here's the thing. When you go out and you watch all these other channels, that's all they do because they have nothing to talk about because their brains aren't clear. They just go, ooh, nanos! And so all you hear is this bashing of nanos over and over and over again, little jabs here and there, and of course that's how you're going to feel too, okay? That's how it works. Right. Hey, look at that. We got a challenge from Lisa Valenzuela. She'll do a... If you guys send in 5 channel memberships, she'll donate the equivalent of 5 channel memberships in the form of coffee. That would be awesome. Thank you. And it's okay, you guys. You can think whatever you want. I'm just, you know, chiming in back. I don't think he's great. I've told you this a million times. I think he is absolutely way in over his head. He seemed to say things and then say, oh, I never said that, because he realized he shouldn't have said that. Those are what he's done. He's also, like, I think he's the one that said Tommaso's the one that dropped him off. And then later he goes, a family member dropped him off. Well, we don't say who dropped him off. I mean, come on. You already said, you know, so there's just stuff like that that are really irritating. But I remember just a while ago they piled on, and what they piled on about was inaccurate. And so that's when I went, well, let's back off a little bit. He isn't great, but it's better than having nothing. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Don't you agree, Paulette? And Michelle H. Conspiracies. Seems like there's this whole thing now where people just don't like law enforcement. You know, it's like it's just strange. Well, I think you can, like, give me something that he said that you couldn't trust. I mean, there's obviously things that he said that he backpedaled on later because he knew then he realized he wasn't supposed to say it. And sometimes he gives away information accidentally, like when he said with the camera. And when he said with the camera, what he said, oh yeah, there could have been an animal on there, right? Well, aren't you glad he said that? Because that let you know that the camera was outside, likely. And I mean, how many cougars go running into a home? Well, Gray, he left the door open. Maybe a raccoon or a... Oh, Jesus. Here we go again. All right, we got 2 of them up there. We need 3 more, you guys. 3 more gifted channel memberships. That'll get us to another miniature goal in here. They don't trust law enforcement. I hate how that's changed. Right. And that's just sort of a new thing. Like the last 10 years, people just start not trusting. I trust law enforcement until they give me a reason not to. Nanos, I don't necessarily trust everything he's going to say at the moment, but I haven't seen a lot of times where I went, oh my God, what a Jesus. He just, like, I'm just absolutely flabbergasted at what he's doing. I think he's way in over his head. He just wanted to do a small little town, do his little show he was doing. Huh? Joseph Vinny says that Annie's car is being released to her. Do you think? Yeah, I think he's, I mean, the thing is it's hard for those guys to be 100% accurate all the time. But I think he's, Vinny generally puts out information that's out there. Sometimes his producers and whatnot give him information that isn't wholly accurate. Like the other day when they said, oh, the blood only stopped on the porch there. Well, it doesn't. The blood went all the way down the sidewalk to the parking area. Okay? Yeah, you guys, what's going on? We need to get the other 3 gifted channel memberships so that we can reach the miniature goal there. Or the challenge. We need 3 more. Remember how people used to just do it because they knew it was helping, and now it's like yeah. Somebody else. Yeah, somebody else. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, I think BLM, the whole thing about being woke. It's cool to be woke, not backing police. Because you really know what's happening, and it's stupid. Now there's one by Sandy Shirley. Yeah. The whole defund the police, that was part of that. Turns out the BLM was all fraud. Yeah, anyways, how they used the person who started it, bought mansions and shit, never even used it for anything. Yeah, so basically that is it on that. That was the only update really today. Like I said, I think that the suspect came in, was somewhere in the area, parked the car. I have him over here, but then walks over to the house. And maybe even came on that other time with no backpack just to set off the motion sensor, and then waited and realized, hey, nobody actually showed up. Hey, thanks so much there, Dom C. All right. And welcome all the new members. Yeah, well, nobody should have supported Black Lives Matter. Everybody knows. What they were really saying is Black Lives Matter too. Like if they had called themselves that, I think people would have. It would have made more sense. But to say Black Lives Matter, like nobody else, all lives matter is what you would want to respond with. But if you call the organization Black Lives Matter too, then people would understand what you're saying is. Basically, like I've told you guys in some of the cases that are covered, when black people get murdered or abducted or whatever, it's way less covered in the newspapers, and that's a reality that I didn't really necessarily believe was a true thing until I was covering true crime and covering cold cases that involved black people. All right, and so there's no doubt about it at all that the coverage is a massive disparity. And so that's kind of, it's, that's a fringe meaning of what they're saying. But I don't think the sniffer's ever going to find anything. Hey, thanks, Lisa Valenzuela. I think once they've identified a spot where they know a car went for a certain amount of time, then the sniffer might mean something. But it's not going to ever work just flying around hoping. I just guarantee you it's not going to work like that. It might work if they get to it in time. I guess, if you bury her under the ground about 6 or 7 feet or something, I bet you there's no more Bluetooth connection. So, I mean, who the hell knows what's going on out there? But it might be where they have a car, once they've identified a suspect and they see that the car went up into the mountains at a certain time and came back, and then based on the timing, how long they fly up there, they might get a hit somewhere. But there's no way it's going to happen just randomly flying around and hoping. Hey, thanks, Lisa Valenzuela. And also to Dom C. Yeah, I thought it was such a dumb phrase to use. And they never would, when people would say, well, all lives matter, then they go, you're a racist. I mean, what do you mean? How is saying all lives matter make you a racist? And they wouldn't even nudge and say, almost not even say what it was meant. It was crazy. It was just, I think it was just a money grab. It had no effect on anything, didn't help anything at all. Complete garbage. Let's see. Any thoughts why the doormat wasn't taken into evidence? I wonder if they looked at it and didn't see any. I mean, yeah, it is kind of weird, right? Like, why is the doormat sitting there where there's blood drops right off to the side? Maybe they realized that they could have swabbed it, but I mean, you'd think they would have picked it up. Maybe a hair landed on it or something. I can't answer questions like that. But you know what? The FBI didn't take it either. They were there. So a lot of the stuff that we were bitching about, the FBI didn't do either. Hey, thanks, Dom C. And then thank you for gifting a membership there, Art and Design Studios. I mean, that name is the least ambiguous name I've ever heard. Art and Design Studio. That's just boom. How do you not know what that is? Yeah, so I think the person came by on another night, set off the camera, and then went and waited and saw that nobody came. So then they felt pretty confident this night. Walked over there with the mask on, the gloves. They parked their car somewhere else, and then they walk in there. They try to block the camera, try to remove and then they ended up removing the camera and probably breaking it almost immediately or something. Then they went back and waited again. But they were pretty confident that nothing was going to happen, so they just wait and wait and wait for about 20 minutes or so. And so that was 1:47, then 20 minutes later would be 2:07. They come walking back, they drive the car this time back over that they had waiting over there and park it right here, right there, because that is exactly the reason they removed or tried to block the camera. They tried to block it, then they removed it because they knew that they were going to be parking their car right there. And then they get out of the vehicle and go around the back, hop over this fence right there. Then this camera, that little thing that sticks out right there, that camera films them walking in the back here at 2:12. Then they go inside the house over here. I don't know which door they went in, but they went in the house. And then at 2:14, they interacted with Nancy Guthrie inside the house. Probably you'll see her pacemaker spike dramatically in heart rate, and etc. They know exactly the second that she confronted the person in the home. That's the kind of detail they have. Then they exit the front door, probably open the door, and then as he's sort of helping her out, she bends over and coughs, and then he's walking to her right, and she's just kind of walking kind of slowly out, and then he puts her into the vehicle right here and then drives away. Doesn't that just seem really simple and kind of like, wow, that makes sense? Now, there could be, you know, a whole bunch of different things, and maybe he drove over different place over there, but I think in general it's correct. Like, they weren't in the house for 41 minutes. They were only in the house from 2:12 or 13 to 2:28. That's when she was being removed from the home, it was 2:28, and her pacemaker quit connecting to the monitor in the house. And I guess that's like 10 feet or so. I think the sheriff just thought it was an old person. I don't think so. He didn't think that ever. That's ridiculous. See, that's the kind of comment that people go, "You're right, man. You're right, PK. Suits it up, man. Yeah. You're right, man." No, you're not. That's completely bullcrap. He literally said right at the beginning, he says, we're treating it as a crime scene. We believe, you know, she was taken out of the house. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. So inside the home, it could have been 2:28. Goes outside even a little bit later, 2:29 or so, 2:30. Gets into the vehicle. I mean, you know, 2:28. And then, you know, it could even be like another 40 minutes. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, 2:28 is really just a time that we were given that her pacemaker disconnected. I mean, it's likely they left at that time, you know, because she could have walked, you know, over here, and then it connected for a second or so. And a lot of times you might get a little bit of a connection, then it disconnects and then connects again and disconnects if you're in the house and you're over the 10 feet, you know. So it seems really likely that as they're leaving at a certain point, she's far enough, it disconnects, and she just keeps getting further and further, and it never had another chance to connect again, and then put in the car and then driven away. Oh yeah, cool. So what are some of the things that the sheriff has said so far that you guys hate so much? Because I don't like him either. I just don't have the same level of, oh my God, the sheriff said it, forget it. He said accurate things, you know. He's the one that did the timeline up there. The FBI guy in the background wasn't shaking his head saying, well, that's not true. You know, he gave us the 9:48, 9:50, 2:12, 2:28. All right, we need, here's the thing, we need 15 more channel memberships for me to be able to gift 5. That's how far away we're at from that level. All right, you guys, I don't have anything else to say on this one, so now we're going to go on to something new here. I think this is interesting. That's pretty crazy. That guy. Yeah, that works pretty good. All right. Isn't that a cool way to do it? Just kind of change the picture in the window down there when you're talking about something else. Although it'd be cool to have a name on it. Maybe, I don't know. That's just too much work. You know, to put that on there like that. So this is Missing General William McCasland. All right. And again, just a larger picture. I mean, there's other pictures of him out there, obviously. It was so weird. I'll tell you what was weird about it. As I'm looking him up and learning about him, exactly what I was thinking, oh wow, is what a huge gist of the story is. You know? But let's see if we can try to get you guys as a group. I mean, we're just like, we're about like 50% of last night. So we're just, I don't know, man. This month is so much harder than last month. You got to see if we can get the support for the channel up, because we're still trying to, we're averaging giving away 4,000. And the pace we're at now, if I can even do, like, we're just really far away from being able to do something like that. So if you guys could help support the channel, I'd appreciate it. We need 1 or 2 more challenges, and that'll probably get us somewhere near a reasonable goal. All right, here's one of them. Authorities search for missing retired Air Force general in New Mexico. I mean, already it's like, okay, you know, immediately you're like, oh, New Mexico, yeah. Authorities in New Mexico are searching for a retired Air Force general who was reported missing Friday. Major General William Neal McCasland, 68, was last seen in a northeast Albuquerque neighborhood around 11 a.m., according to the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office. And he lives right there. That's the house. You know, I thought it was interesting that it's really close to this hill, the hills here. And it seems like he might hike. So I guess that could be an element. But who knows, man. A statewide silver alert has been issued for McCasland in New Mexico. The alerts are used for missing people ages 50 or older when there's a clear indication of irreversible deterioration of intellectual faculties, such as Alzheimer's disease or dementia. Authorities say the alert does not necessarily indicate the person is a victim of a crime. I think people at age 50 or when. Okay, so or when. Our priority is finding Mr. McCasland safely, said Bernalillo County Sheriff John Allen. Are you guys even here? Hello? I mean, Chris O'Connell typed in, I love that gray, about 5 minutes ago. Our priority is finding Mr. McCasland safely, said Bernalillo County Sheriff John Allen. Our investigators and search teams are working continuously, and we're coordinating closely with our local, state, and federal partners. The sheriff's office is asking residents near McCasland's home to check home security footage from Friday, February 27th between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. for any sign of him. The agency said unedited video files can be uploaded to its evidence website. McCasland previously commanded the Phillips... See, this is when I went, whoa. It says right here, it says, McCasland previously commanded the Phillips Research Site of the Air Force Research Laboratory at Kirkland Air Force Base. And I was like, wow, Air Force Research Laboratory. So my first thought was, wow, that sounds like, you know, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, where they back-engineered apparently alien technology at one point. Let's see. See what this one said. FBI search for missing retired Air Force general. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has joined the search for missing retired Air Force General Major General William McCasland, 68. Hey, you guys, any chance we can get the support for the channel going again? We just, we're really struggling. Very few people are even commenting or chatting, so it's going to be hard. So if you guys have the ability, we just need to... we need about 15 more channel memberships. Something of that nature, just to hit the minimum nightly goal. The FBI Albuquerque field office is involved in this investigation, as it is standard practice for the FBI to assist our local law enforcement partners if we have a tool, tactic, or technique that could benefit their investigation. a spokesperson told the New York Post in a statement. Prior to retiring, McCasland was the commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory. Look at that, at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I mean, that is crazy. That's been, I mean, if you're into UFO stuff and research, you know, I mean, like the Roswell incident, right? That is the place, Wright Field, that Walter Hote, the communications officer, said that they took the parts to that Air Force base. And with all the stuff that's out now, you know, Obama even admitting that there's, yeah, that's pretty weird shit. The Air Force's $2.2 billion science and technology program, as well as additional customer-funded research and development, $2.2 billion. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office issued a silver alert for McCasland of Albuquerque, a former commander at Kirkland Air Force Base, which is located in Albuquerque. All right, guys, how do we get the support for the channel going? It seems like every time I bring it up, it just nobody does anything. It's when somebody else says something. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, you guys know that the channel relies on you guys. I'm just trying to reach the goals throughout the month to keep things going. If it's not doable, then I guess it's not doable. We'll just see how it goes. Due to his background and established partnership, BCSO is coordinating closely with multiple agencies, including the FBI, Albuquerque field office. I mean, yeah, because he must know some really, like, sensitive stuff. This guy has been around. He's the one that, the technology person. James Tegnalia, a board member of the Kirkland Partnership Committee, a nonprofit that works to preserve and expand the Air Force Base, told the Albuquerque Journal that McCasland is not the kind of person that would expect to disappear. And so we're all concerned. I mean, hell, it could be the Chinese, Iranians, you know, who the hell knows, man. But the Air Force, in a statement, said it was coordinating closely with local authorities and defers all updates regarding the search efforts to Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office. Our thoughts are with his family during this difficult time. Base commander of the 377th Air Base Wing at Kirkland. Yeah. FBI joins search for missing retired Air Force general with ties to UFO-linked military base. Yeah, see, there you go. See, that's what was weird. This is the same order I was reading these. Because as soon as I saw Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, you know it was weird. You want to hear some weird stuff? Like, I used to be a collector, believe it or not, like at a bank back in like 1993 or something, you know. And then I was kind of bored. It's just such a boring. But I'd call these people, and they had jobs that were like military jobs and so forth. And then one of them, I called up, and the lady was, like the husband was a pilot in the Air Force. Or I called them, actually. And then I said, hey, can I ask you something? And I goes, has he ever told you your husband, because there was a pilot in, I think, New Mexico. And I said, has he ever said that he'd seen UFOs or anything like that? And she said, what'd she say? Well, I can't talk to you about that. I go, why not? And then she said, well, let's just say this. He's seen things that you wouldn't believe. And I was like, wow. So I used to document all these and write them down. It was pretty crazy. Just some of the stuff people... One of them was an air traffic controller person. And he goes, yeah, we see these things all the time, and we don't have any idea what they are. So that was pretty cool. But hey, guys, how do we get it moving along here? We're not even at just the minimum goal. I'm just, you know, this is the part that I hate on the show. You know why? Because me sitting here trying to reach the goals, having to ask 1,700 times, is exactly the thing that the trolls always say. Oh, look at that guy. You know, these other guys, they don't. Yeah, but the other people don't do what we do. See, my channel, I could survive. If I didn't say a word, I just wouldn't donate anything at all, and I'd be able to make, have the same probably gross. But I try to bring in extra money every month so that we can donate thousands of dollars to various true crime related charities. We're at 290 now. Okay, $290,000. I mean, that's crazy, right? 290. Is that right? 290. Jesus. Is that really what the... No, 288, 112. Sorry. And 8,000 this year. So that's the only way to make it happen, you guys, is if you guys are supporting the channel on a nightly basis. And that's why I know what it takes. So when there's these shitty nights, we haven't had one great night this month yet. They're all just kind of, just kind of barely squeaking by. All less than every night of last month so far, other than one. And I'm just trying to figure out how do we make it happen tonight. Because I've mentioned it 10 times now in the last 20 minutes, and not one soul has donated a nickel during that time frame. So, I don't know how to make it different. But this is the shit that the trolls like, because what they do is they say, oh, look at Gray, he's over there e-begging, he's doing this and this. And I don't have to do anything. I could make the videos every single day and just rely on what everybody does in here, and I'd be able to make it. Maybe, But if people didn't support it at all, I wouldn't be able to make it. So can we have a couple challenges or something and try to reach the goal tonight? That would be great. The feds have since confirmed they are assisting the sheriff's office as well as New Mexico's search and rescue as the effort stretched into the fourth day. The FBI Albuquerque field office is involved in the investigation, as it is standard practice for the FBI to assist our local law enforcement partners. The sheriff's office said it had tried several angles in recent days, including drone, canine, and helicopter searches. I guess that's him right there. Alien enthusiasts have long claimed the site, meaning Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, has been linked to various UFO sightings. The base was at the center of the military infamous Project Blue Book investigation into unidentified flying objects back in 1950s and 60s. McCasland, meanwhile, was also a longtime leader of the Kirkland Air Force Base in New Mexico and had prior stints at the Pentagon before retiring in 2013. Colonel Justin Seacrest of the 377 Air Base Wing at Kirkland told Albuquerque Journal that the base was coordinating with local authorities in the search for the retired general. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office is looking for assistance from the public in looking for 68-year-old William Neal McCasland, last seen on 2/27/2026 at approximately 11 a.m. in an area of the Quail Run Court. Unknown clothing description and unknown direction of travel. Due to his medical issue, law enforcement is concerned for his safety. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Our thoughts are with his family during this difficult time. Bernalillo County issued a silver alert. He was last seen Friday morning near Quail Run Court. I think that's... yeah, Quail Run Court Northeast. So this is his house right here. Kind of a cool, nice house. Looks like this is similar. Like everybody has a ranch home, or they're lower. None of them are really tall. Hey, thanks, Chris O'Connell. Yeah, so this one says New Mexico authorities are calling on the public for help in searching for a 68-year-old retired U.S. Air Force Major General who went missing last week. Oh, there was a challenge in here? I didn't see one. Oh, Domsey said, I'll give 5 memberships when 5 are given. Hey, there you go. That'd be awesome. So we need 3 more, you guys. 3 more. That'll give us 5 away from just me being, and then I'll do, and then after that I'll have to do my own challenge. But yeah, we need 3 more gifted channel memberships to get to Dom C's. Only one person said, look at. I didn't even see that one. Authorities said that McCasland was last seen on February 27th at 11 a.m. According to his biography on the Air Force website, McCasland was commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory. I mean, that's huge. That's where they're like inventing, you know, like exotic, whatever the hell it is, you know. That's crazy, right? According to the article, the Air Force investigation into UFO published on the Ohio State University website, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base was the headquarters of Project Blue Book, the military branch probe into unidentified flying objects. The article stated that during the project, which began in 1952 and concluded in 1969, nearly 13,000 UFO sightings were investigated. Created by the United States government because of security concerns and fueled by American obsession with the extraterrestrial Project Blue Book, was a pure product of Cold War paranoia. Are you guys going to be able to get the... We need 3 more gifted channel memberships up there, you guys, to reach the goal set up there by Dom C, which is really 2-to-1 on your end. If we could focus on that for a minute, that'd be great. In a Tuesday, March 3rd article about McCasland's disappearance, Newsweek reported that the retired general's name was mentioned in the 2016 WikiLeaks. You know what's crazy about that is when I went to his Ben Verified, they had these WikiLeaks like that. These were on Ben Verified somehow. It's like, I'm not sure where his name is in here, but it's weird. It says, "Oh, I regret my confusion, but I'm looking to clarify the time," or had then been converted to MSI for my reception. Had recorded original time at 12:30. Best, Neil. I'm not sure where he's met. I mean, all I know is that these were 2 of the websites, and it landed here. And then this one right here. This one. So he's in WikiLeaks. Maybe I'll just have to... I mean, nobody's going to... I don't know what it is, but people aren't willing to help tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and... How about me? Can I do it, Dom C? I mean, I could donate my 5, and then hopefully that gets us somewhere. Because all we need, you guys, is 3 more gifted channel memberships to reach Dom C's goal. I'd rather have you guys do that, and then I'll gift 5 on my own at some point. Thank you, Daniel Gosen. Okay, there's 3. There's 3 of them, so we need 2 more. When Roswell crashed, they shipped it to... Yeah, see, that's exactly right. I mean, I don't know if it's true, this whole thing here. Yeah, we just need 2 more now, Domsey. We just got one a second ago. But thank you. Look at that. 1 month. In a Tuesday, March 3rd article about McCasland's disappearance, Newsweek reported that the retired general's name was mentioned in the 2016 WikiLeaks release of emails from John Podesta, former White House chief of staff to then President Bill Clinton. In messages between him and Tom DeLonge, the Blink 182 guitarist and UFO enthusiast, DeLonge said that McCasland was an advisor on a number of UFO-related projects. When Roswell crashed, they shipped it to the laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. General McCasland... oh, did they get it? I didn't see them reach the goal there, Domsey, but thank you. They didn't... The other 2... I know, the other 2 didn't do them. How lame is that? Man, that's just... Well, Domsey said you guys owe 2. So once you guys do 2, then I'll try to do my deal. Alright? So we need 2 more, you guys. According to Newsweek, there are no official records indicating that McCasland advised along on the latter's UFO work, and the outlet noted that the retired general had neither confirmed nor denied his involvement. Okay. McCasland also commanded the Phillip Research Site of the Air Force Research Laboratory at Kirtland Air Force Base in New Mexico and was vice commander of the Ogden Air Logistics Center. Colonel Justin Seacrest, base commander of the 377th Air Force Base Wing at Kirtland, said in a statement shared with Albuquerque Journal that they are working with local authorities following McCasland's disappearance. McCasland was commissioned in 1979 after he graduated from the Air Force Academy with a Bachelor's of Science. See, now nobody's going to do the other 2 now. General McCasland has played a pivotal role in developing several unique capabilities that this country is not only using now, but will rely on in the future to face emerging threats. General Janet Wolfenbarger, of the commander of the Air Force Material Command, said in 2013, around the time of McClelland's impending retirement. You know what I was thinking? It would be a great weapon. You know how they have the drones, you know? They're not like the drones that we talk about, but, you know, like a little miniature jet drone. Imagine how cool it would be if when the drone gets near its target, it almost stops. It slows down quite a bit and then deploys about 100 smaller drones that can detect targets that are scattering or anything else, and they have these smaller bombs on them. So you go in there, you go zzz, and then these other ones come out, and they go, and then the bigger one hits the big target, and then these smaller ones go out and track down the vehicles, etc., and maybe get them so they can go about like 50, 60 miles an hour. That'd be pretty sweet, man. Have like 50 miniature drones on a bigger jet, and they all deploy as it's getting close. You gotta admit, that would be some freaking sweet shit right there. Okay, who's gonna do the other 2 channel memberships up there, you guys? Dom C was, you guys didn't hit their goal, but they donated anyway, so you gonna do those? Yeah, he was a smart person. Okay. Yeah, right. Authorities in New Mexico are asking for the public's help in locating retired Major General William Neal McCasland, a longtime leader at Kirkland Air Force Base and former commander. Hey, Domsey, thanks for giving it a shot there and doing, supporting the channel. It's always best to just wait. I don't know what happened. I don't know why we just don't have the same freaks from the old days, McCasland was last seen on February 27, 2026 at approximately 11 a.m. in the area of Quail Run Court, like right at his house. According to the alert, McCasland's direction of travel is unknown. Well, so was he just sort of standing around in his yard or something? Or, how would they not know that? Hey, there you go. There's Roger Smith. We just need one more. They haven't mentioned anything about his car or anything. McCasland is described as 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing approximately 160 pounds, with blue eyes and white hair. While investigators continue to canvass the surrounding neighborhoods and review available information, they emphasize that community assistance is critical in cases like this, particularly when the missing individual may be confused, disoriented, or unable to seek help independently. All right, so let's see. So Roger Smith and Wild Bill Wassman did that. So mine will be, if you guys do 5, I'll donate 5. So that means Jessica Schubach is one of those. And we just need 4 more, and then I'll donate 5 myself. I've already used up the 10 free ones, so I'll have to be paying the $25 for the 5 memberships. So if we get 4 more of those, that'd be great. The area where McCasland was last seen near Quail Run Court includes residential streets, walking routes, and open areas where someone on foot might travel without being easily noticed. Deputies have not said whether they believe he may have left the area using a vehicle or public transportation, underscoring the uncertainty surrounding his disappearance. BCSO is urging anyone with information, no matter how minor it may seem, to contact authorities immediately. Members of the public can text information directly to Sheriff's Office by sending BCSO or to 8. I don't know how that works. That little texting like that where you type in numbers. I don't know how that works at all. As the search continues, officials emphasize that time is a crucial factor that Sheriff's Office is asking the community to remain vigilant. Why it matters. McCasland held several high-ranking and influential positions. That part is concerning. He's somebody that Chinese or the Russians or somebody would want to abduct and maybe even torture to get him to tell them what we have as technology. You know what I mean? This guy knows everything. McCasland held several high-ranking, influential positions within the U.S. Air Force, particularly in science, technology, and space research. As commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, he oversaw a $2.2 billion science and technology portfolio. His leadership extended to managing a global workforce of approximately 10,800 personnel, including the AFRL's Technology Directorate's the 711th Human Performance Wing, and the Air Force Office of Scientific Research. See, that right there, that means that's like the exotic stuff, the scientific research wing in the Air Force. Commissioned in 1979 after earning a Bachelor's of Science in Astronautical Engineering from the U.S. Air Force Academy, McCasland built a career spanning diverse roles in the space research acquisition. What does that mean? Space research acquisition and operations within both the Air Force and the National Reconnaissance Office. He served as commander of the Phillips Research, that's probably like Phillips, you know, the company, research site at Kirkland Air Force Base, and later became vice commander of both the Ogden Air Logistics Center. Oh my God, he's got to have something to do with Charlie Kirk. You know, he was in Ogden, and then look at it, Kirk. That's the kind of crap Candace Owens would do. Yeah, you guys, if we get 4 more gifted channel memberships or just $20 in super chats, I'll donate 5 channel memberships. Let's see, technology and logistic roles that placed him at the center of major national defense, space, and technology initiatives. McCasland's name appeared in 2016 WikiLeaks release of emails from John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, in a series of communications between Podesta and Blink-182 guitarist and prominent UFO researcher Tom DeLonge. DeLonge described McCasland as a key advisor on several UFO-related projects. DeLonge told Podesta that he had been working with McCasland for 4 months and that the retired general was already offering him advice on how to move forward with his UFO disclosure initiative. Well, they said he has some kind of something, I don't know, medical. In the same email, DeLonge emphasized that McCasland was very, very aware of the material DeLonge was investigating because McCasland had previously been in charge of the laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base where the Roswell wreckage was shipped. I mean, supposedly, right? Despite DeLonge's claims, there's no official record. What people are saying, Colonel Justin Seacrest, base commander, we are coordinating closely with the local authorities and defer all updates regarding search efforts to the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office. In a polarized area, the center is dismissed as... I don't know what that means. Maybe that's something else. I'm going to go to the next one. Let's see. Yeah, so I thought these were kind of interesting, like way back in the day here. Look at remote control plane tests revealed by I mean, even way back in that's a drone, right? I mean, that's exactly what that is. 1948 it says as many as 42 passengers, all service personnel, have been carried in the 4-engine C-54 plane during the experiments. Major General Franco Carroll, Director of Research and Development of the Air Materiel Command, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, first told about the tests in a speech last night at Bowling Green, where he addressed the Ohio Aviation Clinic. The C-54 is equipped with gadgets for predetermining its course and landing, he said, adding that on only 2 days since August 1st, 1946, had it failed to make the round trip. On each occasion, mechanical difficulties and not weather prevented the flights, he added. Yeah, so they've been doing some crazy stuff for a long time. And then, I mean, this is all back, this is 1997, this one. And so these are these interesting stories that are out there. I don't know if you guys are interested in... Let me look at this one first, though. Look at this crazy... What is that? I mean, this is 1950 here. It looks like a human in there, obviously. And then it said, nevertheless, for all workday outside appearance, a tour of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base would take you a week to see even half of it thoroughly. I mean, I'm sure these are all interesting. I don't want to bore everybody to death, but any chance we can get those last 4, you guys? That'll be the last bit of the evening. And then I'll donate my 5. I'm just trying to get to the number that I donate 5, and we haven't even got there yet. So if we get the 4 gifted ones, we'll make it to the number where I donate 5, and we'll do it. Which will still be about 75 less than last night. Yeah, we can look at this. This is 1995 article. It was July 8, 1947. Roswell Army Airfield Public Officer Walter Hote was ordered to write a news release saying the military had recovered the wreckage of a flying disc. Hours later, the official release was retracted, much like the Pima County Sheriff. The new version insisted that the crash debris was a weather balloon. The flying saucer story was hushed after that. A quiet that lasted about 40 years. But even today, some people who were Roswell residents at the time say the story changed their lives. The wreckage was recovered by the 509th Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force, the same group that dropped atomic bombs at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Roswell was used to keeping secrets, said Walter Hote, the former public officer for the 509th. Books published on the incident included the recent A History of UFO Crashes by Kevin D. Randall. Tell the stories of several residents who claim military officials threatened physical harm if they discussed the crash. There was probably another reason the story stayed quiet. The oil and cattle town was home to only 12,000 people back then, who wanted to learn who wanted to lean over the back fence and talk about flying saucers. Pretty soon, your neighbors would think you were crazy. But would you be? Here are recollections of people who lived in and around Roswell in 1947. You guys want to remind? These are, I think it'll be interesting. I haven't read this yet. It's just, I know who Walter Hote is. I have told you guys about him. Hey, thanks, Bengal Cat. Just need 3 more of those, and I'll donate 5. Hout remembers writing a news release about 4 inches long about the flying disc crash. I delivered it to 2 newspapers and 2 radio stations, Hout 73 said from his home in Roswell. And then I went home and had lunch. The release made it into various newspapers and radio stations around the world. Its impact would stay with him for years. At the time, Hout said he believed it was a flying disc, but he didn't have any reason to think that the vehicle was from outer space. He came to believe it was a spacecraft decades later when former Army officer Jesse Marseille returned to Roswell to talk to UFO researchers in 1980. Marseille had been an intelligence officer and the first to handle and transport any of the crash material. That's weird. Well, he must have known because later in his affidavit he says that he saw a body. Look at that weird picture. What is that? That's where they say it crashed. Marseille described aluminum foil-like material of exceptional strength. It would return to its original shape after being crumbled. He was so adamant that the material was not of this earth, Hout said. Hout has been fielding questions about that news release for 15 years, since the first book, The Roswell Incident, was published. Today, he is the president of the Roswell International UFO Museum. Whatever crashed, it must have been expensive to clean up. So thinks R.C. Harris, the fiscal and budget officer at the Roswell Army Airfield in 1947. Harris, 79, served in the Army from 1936 to 1961. Today he lives in Albuquerque and said he remembers only a few things about the event. Harris said he does not recall the amount of money requested, but said the airfield exhausted its budget on the recovery of the wreckage. He said the wreckage was originally described by military sources as that of a flying saucer. Shortly after the crash, he was in his office and someone from the morgue popped his head in and said, "Do you want to see the bodies?" "No," he said. That would have been with me a long time. I'd already been through 27 months of war in England, Germany, and France, he said. Harris said he wasn't clear now about the description of the bodies or if they were definitely connected to the mysterious crash. He presumed they were. He also presumed, because of stories circulating around the base, that the bodies were alien. He said he thought it highly unusual that someone would ask him to view anything in the morgue. It is weird, right? Like, why would you go up to somebody and say, "Hey, you want to see the bodies?" If it was just a regular, crash or something, you wouldn't think somebody would be interested. All right, 2 more, you guys. Ballard Funeral Home. Yeah, these are interesting stuff. This is, this Glenn Dennis. So this is a guy that worked at a funeral home. Ballard Funeral Home held the contract to provide ambulance services to the Roswell Army Airfield. On July 5th, 1947, mortician Glenn Dennis, 70, said he received calls from someone at the base asking whether he had any small caskets. The person called later with questions on how to preserve bodies without changing their chemical content. I mean, this is what, somebody called him to ask about, right? Yeah, what do you mean reading's hard? Yeah, for you it is, yeah. The same day, Dennis said he went to the base on a routine call. He recalled seeing field ambulances by the hospital. Two contained what he called stainless steel wreckage. In one ambulance, he saw what resembled the front part of a canoe with a band of hieroglyphics on it. The debris in the second ambulance was similar, he said. Inside the hospital, Dennis said, he saw a nurse followed by 2 doctors running out of an operating room. Dennis knew the nurse. I remember this part. She was crying and held a towel over her mouth. The doctors were coughing. A man in uniform later approached him. He told me if I went into town and started rumors, somebody would be picking my bones out of the sand. The next day, Dennis returned to meet the nurse and see how she was doing. She was still in shock, he said. She drew a picture of the bodies she saw in the autopsy room. Small gray men with very large eyes, large heads, and 3 or 4 fingers on each hand. She was shipped out at 3 p.m. the next day, Dennis said. He said, I think I remember hearing that she died in a plane crash. They didn't want her to say anything. He said, no one knows her whereabouts, and no one has been able to trace her through military records. Okay, maybe that was what it was. A letter sent to her shortly after the event was returned with the word deceased. Oh, there you go. Written across her name, Dennis said. Dennis will not reveal her name. We made a vow, he said. Today, Dennis is the vice president of the International UFO Museum in Roswell. He doesn't believe it was a weather balloon that crashed, yet is uncomfortable thinking that it might have been a flying saucer. After all these years, he wonders if he'll ever know. And then you got Frank Joyce. Frank Joyce, known as Albuquerque as KOB-AM. Hey guys, any chance we can just get 2 more gifted memberships in there, then I'll be able to donate the 5. We haven't been able to not do that for a while. So if you guys have the ability to do that, that'd be great. We just need 2. It's like $10 total. And that'll get us to the number where I'll donate 5 myself. I'd like to reach one of my challenges. Frank Joyce, known in Albuquerque as KOB-AM radio announcer and KOB television reporter, won 3 Bronze Stars in World War II for meritorious service in Europe. There he set up smoke screens in harbors and battlefields to allow U.S. troops to advance. But those are not the adventures he remembers most. On July 6, 1947, Joyce was a reporter and DJ for the then Roswell station KGFL. He received a telephone call from William Mac Brazel, a rancher, who relayed a story about unusual metals he recovered while out riding the range. Joyce won't reveal the details of what else Brazel told him. Days later, Joyce was at the radio station when Walter Hote delivered the news release. Joyce sent the release to the wire service via Western Union, and then he read the announcement on the air. What followed in quick succession was an angry call from a man who identified himself as being from the Pentagon, and then a visit by an angry radio station boss. Brazel came by later that evening and told Joyce to forget everything he told him earlier. I asked him, what happened to your earlier story about flying saucers and little green men? The 72-year-old retiree recalled. He said Brazel turned to him and said they weren't green. Well, there you go. Yeah, crazy stuff, huh? I don't know what that one's about. But anyways, I'm all reading out. And doesn't look like we're gonna get there. Man, it's just so brutal. Anyways, thanks everybody who was able to support the channel tonight. Man, it's just getting so difficult every night now. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's too late. It's only 2 hours and 24 minutes in. Oh yeah, these were interesting. I found this all these different interviews with this guy, Colonel Philip Corso. He was like this. He actually worked at the bases and was put in charge of back engineering. Man, I feel like I'm just on an island. Nobody's chatting. It's just boring. All right, let me just. I'm just going to donate the 5 regardless. We didn't make it. Just so in my mind it looks like we made it. Alright, thanks to let's see, let me go up here. Richard Watts, and then we had a gifted one from Wild Bill Wassman, Alley Cake. This is what I heard, new member. Then Wild Bill Wassman, Chris O'Connell gifted 5. Then we had Art and Design Studios gifted 1. Then Wild Bill Wassman gifted 5. Then Chris O'Connell gifted 10. Then Cheryl Bullock gifted 1. Wild Bill Wassman gifted 1. Then Jean Ann, then Chris O'Connell, Alley Cake, Michelle H. Wild Bill Wassman, Tracy Von Brott. Then Wild Bill Wassman gifted 1. Michelle H gifted 1. Sandy Shirley gifted 1. Then Domsey gifted 5. Then Domsey did a super chat. Then Art and Design Studio gifted 1. Wild Bill Wassman gifted 1. Then Chris O'Connell gifted 1. Then Daniel Gosen gifted 1. Then Domsey, been a member for a month. And then gifted 5. Then Roger Smith and Wild Bill Wassman finished off the 5 that they had done. Then Jessica Schubach, Bengal Chili, then Wild Bill Wassman, and then I gifted 5. Alright. Well, thanks everybody. I guess we'll see you tomorrow. I won't venture off to do a story like that ever again. It seems like it was just so incredibly boring for everybody. Nobody was talking, just dead as a... I don't know, just so frustrating. Yeah, he could have easily just walked up here somewhere and just got out there, you know, in this little area, and then just walked all the way up here, and he's up in the mountains somewhere. Something happened to him. Maybe, you know, it took his own life when he was up there. It's hard to say. Remember we had that one case that was kind of like that. Peak 6. Remember that one in Colorado? Anyways, thanks everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. I wish I didn't have to, you know, on the shows, try to bring in the income every night. That's about the only option I got, though. Yeah, there's no ad revenue here, and I just wish that you guys would just kind of do it on your own, knowing what we're doing. Because that's what the trolls like. They love it. Ooh, look at, there's Gray asking again. Ooh, there's Gray, look, ooh. They're just sick people. I don't know any other way to do it, though. And it doesn't even work, by the way. When I say, hey guys, we can help support, it just, nobody, it's like just a few of you do, and then the other person, if you guys do challenges, you match the challenges, but when I do a challenge, forget it, man. It's just, yeah. So I don't know where this guy is, and maybe the FBI will do an update of some sort. If you guys see a press conference, that'd be interesting to see what they're saying. I'm sure he's got to be on surveillance somewhere. But I would think if he's anywhere, I mean, he lives so close to this mountain range that this would be the main place to search. I mean, I would think like right in here. You know, I mean, hell, I would even draw like a, you know, something like that. Unless he was just abducted by somebody, then that's a totally different situation. Alright, well thanks everybody. See you guys later. And as I always say, until next time, be safe.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, thug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher.
I do also want to say thanks to, you know, Wild Bill Wassman again, and Chris O'Connell for the extra help today.
Gonna be a pup protector.
Thank you.
Tool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all.
I know, it was Art Bell. That's exactly right.
I have no agenda.
Maybe I'll do the Art Bell.
I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight
Hold on,
without
I'll
the
do the Art Bell.
And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.
From the green forests of the Pacific Northwest, I bid you all good evening or good morning as the case may be. Tonight, you'll have a special guest, Richard C. Hoagland, and he'll tell us exactly why we haven't been back to the moon in over 50 years. And then, Major Ed Dames on remote viewing. What are some of the things they've been seeing? And after that, the frog creatures of Lithuania, whose eyeballs are so big. That's why they call them frog creatures. And we'll be back later to discuss all of those. Thank you very much. Yeah, Art Bell, his is this one now. From the high desert and the great American Southwest, I bid you all good evening or good morning as the case may be. A little nasally. From the high desert and the great American Southwest, I bid you all good evening or good morning as the case may be. Oh, I have a special guest for you tonight. Right? That's it, right there. I could listen to this for hours. And on the wild card line is Chris O'Connell. Yeah, Bob Lazar, that's right. Oh, yeah, don't forget. And later we'll have on Linda Molden Howe to discuss the cattle mutilations and crop circles. Oh, and a special guest from MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network. It's kind of like this, though. I love this one. This isn't his music. It just reminds me of his music. His is sweet, though. Like, what is the Art Bell music? What is the name of that? Hold on. Art Bell music intro. What was that? His sounds like this. Oh, royalty-free music. Where is it? Art Bell intro. Is that it? Oh, that isn't it. Intro. Oh, no, this isn't. Oh, that was garbage. That's just some... This might be it. Not that. Hold on. That's a commercial. No, that's not it. Let's see. Art Bell intro music. Is this it? Yeah. From the high desert and the great American Southwest, I bid you all good evening or good morning, as the case may be. There you go. Art Bell, Phil Hendry. Yeah, listen to this. You guys have heard him, right? So here is Phil Hendry doing Art Bell. Listen to this.
Had certain unexplained phenomenon.
So this guy is the guy that imitates the voices, does the callers and everything. So here he is.
Overnight. If you're calling from east of the Rockies,
all right, here he is.
Into that, you know.
Okay, here he comes.
And welcome. We have got a program this evening
It's
that
so
I
good.
hope
That's
ladies
exactly
and
what he
gentlemen,
sounds like.
would never come. Before I get into that, you know that certain things have been happening. I have had certain unexplained phenomenon here near my bunker complex from Nevada.
Yeah, now let's hear Art Bell, what he sounds like.
From the high desert in the great American Southwest, where finally the rain has stopped falling and the
See, that's what he sounds like.
skies are clearing as they should in the desert, I bid you a great big good evening or good morning, as the case may be, across all these time zones.
That, as the case may be. I told you guys that. Yeah, anyways. You got to go. If you ever have time, just go on to YouTube and listen to the Phil Hendry parodies. I mean, they're so good. It's incredible. They're hilarious, too. They're funny. One time, let's see. What did he do? He pretended to be the real Art Bell. Oh, let's see. That's right. So he pretended to be Art Bell was interested in doing what Phil Hendry does. I mean, so think about it like this. Phil Hendry was pretending to be Art Bell, wanting to do what Phil Hendry does. So he used Art Bell's voice to then try to be another person and take the phone calls and everything, and it sounded so stupid. Every voice sounded the same, okay? Every voice sounded the same. Whoa, what the heck? Every voice sounded exactly the same. It was crazy. Maybe I should do like an after, just sometimes like once a week, do it where there's really nothing on the screen other than something spinning or something. And we just talk about whatever, you know. Maybe crazy stuff. Yeah. Well, thanks, Chris O'Connell. That was really nice of you there. Yeah, so he'd be like, "Hi, I'm calling. Yes, you are. Okay, why are you saying that?" And it was like every voice sounded the same. So he sucked at being Phil Hendry, but it was Phil Hendry pretending to be him to do all that. I mean, it was amazing. Let me see if I can find that one. Just that one thing. You guys interested in that? I think you'd think it was funny. Let me see. YouTube. Let me see if I can find it. Phil Hendry imitating Art Bell trying to be Phil Hendry. Parody, was that the one? Art Bell parody. Phil Hendry, Art Bell retire. That's different. Let me try that first one. Dun, dun, dun.
And now, Coast to Coast with Art Bell. Rockies, dial 1-800-448-89634126.
Right, it's pretty quiet.
85. East of the Rockies. Wait a minute. Who's there? Is there someone? Is there someone?
All right, Ross Mitchell, thank you very much.
I like it.
Welcome to Coast to Coast here with me, Art Bell. And a very good morning to you, because this should be, let me just say, possibly a record-setting night here on Coast to Coast. Tonight, General Johnson Jameson from
General
the bunker
Johnson,
complex beneath the Saskatchewan crust
Wait, let me see.
will try to enter an alien craft that has landed in his backyard.
General
I know many of you are
Johnson.
saying it's not possible, but keep in mind, there are many things...
Hey, I'm going to do Phil Hendry, General Johnson, Jameson. Let me see. There it is, this one.
Sure wish I could drink my own urine. Well, now, General Johnson Jameson World Headquarters...
He does his
building.
commercials, watch this.
And
This is great.
tonight, we will deal with the paranormal. Really want you to get in on this. You're going to enjoy this immensely. We have some things and some sounds, and we are going to perform something live on the air tonight that I think you're going to find very interesting. And so...
That's not his voice at all, this guy. He's just...
really... get... it...
He's doing that on purpose.
First, friends, this word from Peenman Enterprises. Friends, how many times have you said to yourself, boy, I sure wish I could drink my own urine? Well, now it's possible. Thanks to Peenman Enterprises, you can. Introducing our new Urine to Lemons. Get it? Urine to Lemons. That's right. Change your urine to lemonade. Just pee right into the urine processor, add sweetener, and maybe a little sweet and low, and in a matter of seconds, you have delicious lemonade-flavored urine. How this will come in handy during the Y2K, I can't even begin to stress. You like something cold to drink? You can drink your own piss with the new Urine to Lemons. Urine to Lemonade here from Peenman Enterprises. Now, for the first time in your life...
See, what's funny about that is, like, Art Bell would always sell these little gadgets and stuff, so he's playing on that one. You know.
A long-time obsession. I know that, of course, in my home, we have long asked ourselves, boy, I wish I could just get right into that bowl and start drinking. Well, now you can with the new Urine to Lemons from Peenman Enterprises. New. Don't forget to check out our website, www.openupanddrink.com. And General Johnson Jameson is on the line. He is in his bunker complex.
So keep in mind, everybody he does here is him, Phil Hendry.
At the General Johnson Jameson Worldwide Headquarters in Sherman Oaks. General Johnson Jameson, so very, very good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much, Art.
So, something has happened out where...
See, he literally just switches over to another phone, and he just has this whole conversation with himself.
You live, and it is bordering... Unlike so much of what we talk about with you, this is bordering on the paranormal, isn't that right?
Yes, it's... Let me explain what's happened out here, because I'm still shaking. I'm still shaking from what has happened. I was in the kitchen using my new Peenman Enterprises Urine to Lemons lemonade maker. I had just gotten done taking a good, healthy leak into the lemonade maker, and I decided, well, you know what, I just had dinner, I better go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, and at that time, not only was it, and I don't want to be indelicate.
Please, we need all the information.
All right. Well, I did have a bowel movement as well. Now, I left the bathroom and came back to the Peenman Enterprises Urine to Lemons lemonade maker, took a nice healthy sip, and I was on my way back to the living quarters here in the General Johnson Jameson Worldwide Intergalactic Headquarter building here on Ventura Boulevard. You follow?
Yeah, I'm following you. And I want everyone to go to the website. You can see a picture of General Jameson right now drinking his own urine. That would be on...
Yeah, that's on SATCOM 4, Dish 5, Sector 3.
See how he interrupts himself to make it seem like it's...
Satellite 12, Intergalactic 4.
All right, if you do, you can see the streaming video. If you'll pardon the pun, the streaming video.
Christ, I love you so deeply.
All right, so let's continue. So you're walking back to your private headquarters. To
the streaming video.
I'm walking by the private residence. And suddenly, as I walk by the bathroom, I take a deep breath, And oh man,
Yeah, that's my whistle.
What
Hey, do you hear that?
Experienced?
I will tell you right now,
boom.
there was a stench flowing out of that bathroom. It was unmistakably otherworldly. There is no other way to put it. The stink that came out of that
was good.
bathroom was not of this earth. And I realized, due to my work with the United States government, not only with the covert, with the company, as well as the Defense Intelligence Agency, but as you know, I worked for 20 years with Naval Intelligence, and I had used the lavatory there. I had never smelled anything like this. I realized
So
now...
it had to have been alien technology.
And this is within the last 2 hours.
Can we mark our watches? So you went into that bathroom and had a bowel movement at what time?
A bowel movement at one time. See, he was going to laugh, so he had to, like...
Would have been 2 hours ago Pacific time, making it 7:12 Pacific time.
7:12 Pacific time, that would have been 10:12 Eastern time, and that would have been 9:12.
Yeah, I just did it at the beginning of the show.
Okay. You then walk by, and...
I walked by at approximately 7:45, and the stink coming out of that... I'm still shaking. The stink coming out of that bathroom was... it was just wild. So, I got on the phone with a friend of mine, Bud Creeley, who has done a lot of work, and here's what we found out.
All right, here, this is the interesting part. I want everyone to listen to this.
We believe now that there is something paranormal living in the lower reaches of my colon.
Unbelievable, General James. I mean, I have known you for some 20 years, and this has got to have you... It's got to have you scared.
I'm scared, but I'm exhilarated, because this is the closest I've ever come to actual possession. Now, while I am not completely possessed...
Yeah, I'm going to try one other one here. He had this weird one with, let's see, Phil Hendry. Let's see. Art Bell Planets. Yeah, so he did one where he... Yeah.
And what I'm about to say to you is a culmination of all of it. The unexplained phenomenon, the migraine headaches, the voices.
Bell.
Seeing things moving through my room at night. Dark shapes forming out of the desert sand.
Let me try this one. Art General Johnson Jameson. Yeah. There's one where he does this whole thing where it's live, and he's like climbing up there, and he's going over a hill because he sees a light. And then he's getting shot at, right? So General Johnson Jameson is climbing up a mountain because he sees a light over the top of it. He climbs up to the very top, and he's got bullets in him and everything. He makes it up there, and he looks over the edge, and it's a gas station. That part is freaking hilarious, man. It's just... I wish they were just easy to find like that.
I think it...
The Vegas Strip. This is Joe Dickhead's NFL picks. Okay.
Right into a brick wall. Hell, I'm going with Joe Dickhead. Is right, Joe?
Yeah, so what Phil Hendry's show was really about was that he would do... he had a call-in show, right? So he'd do these shows, and he'd have a ridiculous premise, and then a guest on that agreed with the premise, but he did the voice of the guest, and sometimes he'd have 2 or 3 guests on, and he would do them all. And then he'd have actual callers call in that were so outraged by what they'd heard that they'd call in, and then one of his other voices would communicate And then they'd start arguing, and then Phil Hendry, his real voice, would be like the moderator. You know, like, hey, you know, come, you know. I mean, it's so good. I mean, you have to, it's like genius. Nobody can do that. Let's see, Christine Brewster. I think that's her name. Yeah, so this is Phil Hendry right here. Listen.
His first name.
His name's Neil.
Okay.
Basically, Phil, he gave me an engagement ring, and it was very embarrassing.
Oh, like, here comes some phone calls. I bet you got the name wrong.
All right, let's start it off right here. This is how it goes. Watch.
You're listening to Phil Hendry on Coast to Coast PM. To talk with Phil from west of the Rockies, dial 1.
See, he would just do that to make fun of it.
8686. East of the Rockies, 1 ratio.
We're milking that for all it's worth, and if it's getting old, guess what? You're going to hear another 3-4 years of it. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendry Show here. Oh, like, here comes some phone calls. I bet you got the name wrong. Is you guys name Russ Mitchell? They hanging up? Nobody? You know, wants to go on with this. Your name is Colleen?
Yeah,
Colleen, are you there?
Colleen Christine Brewster.
Okay, Colleen, now, tell me the story here. Your fiance gave you a ring. By the way, a member of our staff, Melissa Morgan, is to be married. She is to be married. She received a ring, I think, that her boyfriend sent back because she wanted a different setting.
Well, this is really not about that. This is about, I think it's really about love. Excuse me for...
You okay there?
Yeah, this is really about love and how well someone understands you. And I think that's important when you're giving a woman that you're going to marry a ring.
Well, what happened? Did you...
See, he's doing that voice right there, but notice how it just... He had to even interrupt and go, hey, are you okay? Because they quit talking. You know, it's just amazing.
Did he give you...
Well, my fiance's name is, and I don't know if I should say it.
What is it? Just his first name?
His name's Neil.
Okay.
Basically, Phil, he gave me an engagement ring, and it was very embarrassing. It was not what I had wanted. It was not what I had asked for. And it was really heartbreaking in a lot of ways, because I really think
Thanks, Wild Bill. Awesome.
if you love someone, you know them. And if you know them, you know the little nuances and the little signals that they send. And
how old are you?
I'm 26.
You're 26, and your fiancé is how old?
He's 31.
What does he do?
Well, right now he is in investment banking, but we're hoping to own our own business in a couple of years.
All right, so he gave you a ring. What was...
Well, it was a little surprising because I really think that he cares about me, but he gave me...
What did he give you, dear? Give me the specifics.
Well, it was something. It was 2 carats, a platinum band, not a Tiffany setting, not baguettes. It's not a Harry Winston. It was really so without any forethought and so without any feeling. I really thought I knew this guy. And here he sticks this thing in front of me. You know, so it bothered me.
It bothered you because it was not the ring.
Here's, Phil, what I really think love is, and I really know that a lot of girls out there would agree with it. I think that love is knowing that person, knowing the things they like, knowing the things that they want. And
so when he got 2 carats on a platinum band,
he totally misread me. He totally misread my feelings. You know,
yeah, well, what did you want to get? What did you expect to get?
Night. He was going to give it to me at a beautiful restaurant.
So imagine listening to this on the radio. You're driving home from work, and you're listening to this lady talking. It's making you angry. Then you want to grab your phone, and then you...
Restaurant. And
where were you guys going?
We were going over to Gladstone's on PCH, It was going to be a beautiful night.
He just switches over to his little phone.
Really romantic, and I really was really looking forward to it.
He literally has this phone that he grabs and starts talking into it.
And he really just, you think you know someone, and then they drop this bombshell on you.
All right, so the evening set up like this, Colleen.
Yes.
You went out to Gladstone's for Fish at Sunset and PCH. Is that a place that you guys
started there unless you looked them up?
Phil, a girl pictures her wedding, her whole life, and a ring too. That's what I wanted to call your show and talk about. She really pictures her wedding as being something special. And
all right, well, but let's set this up. Neil takes you out to Gladstone's for Fish.
Yes.
And you're sitting there, and you guys, that's your favorite romantic restaurant, huh?
We really love it there at Gladstone's. You can sit outside.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
Friend, expecting a
if you really love
okay, so that's a real caller.
2 carats is
me.
Thoughts that counts. Are you married?
Yes, I am. God, that ring is...
oh, my God, that's exactly how I was feeling. So that's really what I was talking about.
So he can intuit certain...
Yes, he can feel certain things.
1-800-449-8686.
So now a real caller calls
Gainesville
in.
on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
Yes, I don't understand what you're complaining about, lady. 2 carats. I mean, good God, that ring is huge.
I really was expecting a 2.5 carat. I did not want a platinum band. I wanted something, that took a little effort.
A little effort? Do you know how long it took to pay for a 2 carat ring? I mean, that's pretty ungrateful. I mean, isn't it the thought that counted?
Well, the thought that counts. Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Give your wife a really bad engagement ring. I'm sure she's not going to be happy.
I gave my wife an engagement ring that wasn't even close to 2 carats.
What did you give her?
Isn't this great?
How many carats?
1.
Oh, my God. And she was okay with that?
She loves it. She loves me. She doesn't
1
love
carat.
the ring.
2 carats
she loves me.
2 carats is like, I don't know, but I figured...
See how he snuck that little attempt to talk? Just right there. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, that makes it get so real sounding. Just see that little part here, watch.
She loves me. She doesn't
1
love
carat.
the ring.
2 carats
she loves me.
2 carats is...
The do you... Like, why did he throw that in there? That's just so creative because it does keep you thinking there's this other person. That's amazing.
Is like,
he doesn't.
I don't know, but I figured 2 carats at about 15.
So this is a real caller, though, the one that called in, because they're so outraged of what they heard that they call in. I actually figured out the first show I listened to, because I could see that he never interrupted himself, and I had already done stuff like that, so I had a feeling that's what he was doing.
G's. I mean, what do you think?
I have no idea.
If he loves me, he's going to get me what I want. If he really, really loves me.
If you really, really loved him, you would accept the ring wholeheartedly.
But you don't understand. It proves...
No, you're right. I don't understand.
Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. It proves that he does not have that intuitive sense for my inner self.
No, it proves...
He doesn't know what I want.
You're a selfish woman, and that...
Anyways, this guy right here seems to be uploading all the videos. Here, I'll put it in the chat here. They're putting in just hundreds and hundreds of clips from Phil Hendry on here. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. What do you do, what you're doing here, Jay? Dr. Ron. I mean, he has all these different characters. There's a guy that has his barbecue ribs place. Oh, Ted Bell. Oh, yeah, Ted Bell. Let's see.
Well, you can't stand around at a bus stop, but...
That's Ted Bell.
At the price of gas. The recommendation would be from the Beverly Hills Automobile Association, and we have recommended a couple of levels. Our recommendation is to start using public transportation. I don't ride the bus because I can't stand around at a bus stop. Armani doesn't, I don't know what you want to, it doesn't travel well. I don't know what you want to say about it.
Well, you can't stand around at a bus stop, but you're saying that the guy who's complaining about the price of gas...
Obviously, he can't afford it, and so therefore he's not doing...
I think he did start in California, this guy.
...business in the rarefied air that
He was a syndicated radio show for a long time, all over the place. And then he, I don't know, kind of like around, seems like 2000, like near Obama, the end of Obama or something, he disappeared.
And so, therefore, he
might
can
still be
go
out there,
the
I don't
public
know.
transportation route. He can go the metro line route. I'm going to tell you a little story, and I want your listeners to hear this, Phil, as we talk about these high gas prices. My mother and father didn't get along. My mother was not a very... she didn't have a lot of character. I think that's the reason why my father eventually divorced her. After he divorced my mother, she started riding a bus to take it to work. And I'm going to tell you something. Riding that bus, Phil, gave her character. She became
Yeah, he's been off the air since 2014. He currently hosts a podcast featuring his signature characters. The podcast is available on various platforms, including his website. Huh. Man, I think that'd be absolutely worth listening to. You know? Yeah, so he was just on syndicated radio. Everywhere. See, you looked him up. See, I told you. You wouldn't know that he started in Florida. Let's see. He took me a few shows to get the setup. Yeah, I think I got it right away just because I had been doing something similar when I was a kid. Like I said, I did those little things where I'd do the ads and everything and have a whole conversation with a guest on a radio show. And so then I was thinking, wow, he's not interrupting himself right away. So I knew what the gig was. And then it was just hilarious. I listened to him every single day, you know. Yeah, I don't know why I started doing it. But I actually made like a cassette tape that was 45 minutes long of me just doing all kinds of different, just the same thing, but different skits. And I had it in my fraternity, and people would borrow it just to go listen and laugh. it was freaking hilarious. I mean, it was, I don't know, man. I one time I did one at like a bong smoking championship, you know, with people in the fraternity, and I was pretending I was like a radio show host, but I imitated voices of the contestants, you know. I mean, I don't know, it was pretty good. Yeah. There it is. Anyways, that's probably good. Yeah, I'm going to have to keep this page, Little Guy it's called. I think I'm going to keep that on my desktop. You guys should listen to some of that stuff on the side. It's hilarious. Yeah, let's see, the Phil Hendry. This is him right there. Yeah, he was born and raised in California, a suburb of Los Angeles. In 1958, his family took a road trip to visit relatives in Toronto, Canada. They listened to the radio the whole way. He knew he wanted to work in radio one day. He was and I always wanted to do play-by-play for the Blazers or something. I remember one time when I was younger, it used to be so different. When I was about, I think it was 83 or 4, I called the Blazers up, the Portland Trail Blazers, and I wanted to talk to the owner, or I think it was like not the owner, it was the general manager. His name was Harry Glickman, and this is and I called up and I go, "Can I speak with Harry Glickman?" And they go, "Just a minute," and then he goes, "Hello, oh yeah, hello," and it was him. I mean, I literally, just called and then I get to talk to Harry Glickman. There's no way in hell you could do that today, man. There'd be 15 different layers you have to get through. You could forget it. It was totally different, way better back in the day. Henry's father was a sales executive who came to Los Angeles in 1950 after serving in the Canadian Army during World War II. In his early teenage years, Henry was described listening to the radio as being his primary escape. He was a huge fan of the top 40 DJ Emperor Bob Hudson. When he was in his early teens, Hendry's parents divorced. His father moved to Europe and married a woman who had 4 kids. Hendry's family home was repossessed, forcing them to move into a small rented apartment where he slept on a couch during his senior year in high school. After graduating, Hendry attended Pasadena City College to earn an English degree. After 1 year at college, he left for Orlando, Florida. In the early 1970s, he got a job in construction working on the building of a Walt Disney World. Hendry made a demo tape and got his first DJ job. Let's see. After his show was canceled on KFI, KVEN in Ventura, California, offered him a job in August 1990. And that's weird because I started listening to him not even that long after that. The September 1990, Hendry introduced his first fictional on-air character on his radio talk show, Iraqi Raj Fanin. The Gulf War had broken out, and Fanin vociferously defended Saddam Hussein. So he had a whole voice that he was defending Saddam. Listeners who believed Fanin was real responded with outrage. See, that's his whole premise. And called the show to express their feelings. An entire cast of characters evolved, and in 18 months, Hendry took the show to major market stations in Atlanta, Minneapolis, and Miami, and eventually back to Los Angeles. In October 1996, Hendry went back to KFI to host the Phil Hendry Show daily. Hendry's popularity resulted in the radio show going national in 1999. That must have been when I started listening. In February of 2005, Hendry's flagship station, KFI, moved him to sister station KLAC in an effort to help turn the all-sports talk radio station into rating winner with Entertainment Programming Incorporated. On June 4, 2007, it was announced that Phil Hendry would return to radio June 25, 2007 via National Syndicator Talk Radio Network, with shows airing nationally Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Pacific Time. Hint as fans via Twitter that the show's website that February would be his last KFI show, Hendry said. That was 2012. I don't know. I think it's just it's such a crazy idea. What a great thing that he came up with. Yeah, I used to love... I mean, sports radio was always my... I could just... I used to listen to every single game on the radio that the Blazers played, and then they won the championship, and I memorized their entire album. I could do all the play-by-play. I still remember a lot of it. I just... It's what's weird is how life works, Like, I remember I was just so... I wanted to do radio. Talk. Or whatever it was. Just do whatever it was on the radio. And then I did stuff that was totally unrelated. And now I'm back to a place where I'm... it's sort of similar. It's not exactly what I was talking about. But, it's sort of interesting how you get back to that one place. I know, isn't that weird that they would do the disclaimer too? I mean, I remember started hearing that. Because a lot of times you're not really paying attention. You're hearing the talk show and the people and laughing. And then they don't say it very often. They just say it like once during the show, not every commercial break or something. Wait, what's Lloyd Bonafide sound?
On the premier radio networks.
The D-Day boys, they did a lot of good stuff, but the Korean boys,
yeah, he was a Korean War veteran. Lloyd Bonafide. Anyways, all right, you guys. Pretty crazy. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Who the hell knows what tomorrow will bring? All right. Anyways, I hope I can get to a point where, you know, like during the shows, I don't have to ask, you know, because I have to try to reach the goals or we're not going to be able to do anything of what we're doing. So I'm always trying to figure out, like, I just don't know how to do it other than saying, hey, guys, you know, something. Because there's these huge, massive lulls, you know, you guys have seen those, right? Where it's just like 30 minutes, and man, when you kill that much time without support, it's hard to make up the, you know, get back on track. So I don't know how to do it, you know, I'm not sure. I don't know if there's another way. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll figure it out. It seems like whenever there's big cases, though, it's not as hard. You guys have any ideas? Because when I'm asking, that's what the trolls always love, you know. They just... Anybody there? Never mind. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you guys later. And be safe out there.